Russia and Ukraine have had a strained relationship in recent years, particularly since 2014 when Russia annexed Crimea, a region that had been part of Ukraine. The situation in Ukraine has been volatile since then, with ongoing conflict and political turmoil. As a result, it is important to be aware of what is happening in the country, as well as what is not being reported. In this video, we will take a closer look at some of the things that Russia may not want the world to know about the situation in Ukraine. Human rights abuses. One of the main concerns in Ukraine is the human rights abuses that are taking place in the conflict-affected areas. The ongoing conflict in the east of Ukraine has resulted in widespread human rights abuses, including extrajudicial killings, forced disappearances, and torture. Despite numerous reports and allegations of such abuses, the situation has received little attention from the international community, and the perpetrators have not been held accountable. The Ukrainian government has been criticized for not doing enough to address these abuses, and for not taking action against those who are responsible. In addition to the human rights abuses, there have also been reports of widespread discrimination and harassment against minority groups, including the Roma, Jews, and the LGBT community. These groups have been targeted for their beliefs and have been subjected to hate speech and violence. The Ukrainian government has been criticized for not doing enough to protect these groups and for not taking action against those who are responsible for the violence and harassment. Political repression. In recent years, there have been increasing reports of political repression in Ukraine, particularly against opposition politicians and activists. This has included arrests, detentions, and searches of political opponents, as well as restrictions on freedom of speech and assembly. The Ukrainian government has been criticized for using the legal system to target political opponents, and the international community has been slow to respond to these concerns. This has created a climate of fear and uncertainty, and has made it difficult for opposition politicians and activists to speak out and voice their opinions. In addition to political repression, there have also been concerns about the state of media freedom in Ukraine. The government has been accused of using its control over the media to spread propaganda and to suppress critical voices. This has resulted in a lack of independent and accurate reporting, and has made it difficult for the public to make informed decisions about the country's future. The international community must take steps to address these concerns and to support the development of an independent and free media in Ukraine. Corruption. Corruption remains a major issue in Ukraine, and it is one of the main reasons that the country has struggled to make progress in recent years. Despite the government's efforts to address the issue, corruption remains widespread and has been a major barrier to reforms and economic growth. The lack of transparency and accountability in the Ukrainian political system has contributed to the widespread corruption, and the international community has been slow to respond to this issue. In addition to corruption within the government, there have also been concerns about corruption within the security forces and military. The military has been accused of widespread corruption, including the theft of weapons, ammunition, and equipment. The security forces have also been criticized for their role in the conflict in the east of Ukraine, and for their involvement in human rights abuses. The Ukrainian government must take steps to address these concerns and to ensure that the security forces and the military are accountable and transparent. Economic challenges. Ukraine is facing a number of economic challenges, including high levels of debt, high inflation, and a struggling economy. Despite the government's efforts to address these issues, the situation remains challenging, and the country has been slow to make progress in terms of economic growth and stability. The international community must provide support to Ukraine to help it overcome these economic challenges, and to promote economic growth and stability in the country. This includes supporting reforms to improve the business environment, and helping the country to attract foreign investment. Conclusion. The situation in Ukraine remains complex and challenging, and there are many things that Russia does not want the world to know about the situation in the country. The international community must remain vigilant and must continue to raise awareness about the human rights abuses, political repression, corruption, and economic challenges that are taking place in Ukraine. By doing so, we can help to support the development of a stable, democratic, and prosperous Ukraine, and to promote peace and stability in the region.